I am excited because today a snapshot was released adding the auto crafter. I'll be honest though, in the past I was never really excited by the thought of auto crafting. I didn't really care about it, but now that's in the game, I care and I want to mess around with it today. And now due to some unseen reasons, I am in a different world. I thought the crafter was just in the snapshot, but I also have to turn on experiments to get it, but that's fixed now. So here it is, the crafter. I have not messed around with this much yet. I just read the little bit that was in the snapshot. So let's find a place and mess around with this thing. So from what I know is you can put hoppers into it and it will fill with items, and when it gets a redstone signal it will craft that item. So yeah, you click to disable the slots. So there are a lot of good uses for this. I'm going to build a tiny melon farm and hook it up to this system, which will auto craft the melon slices into melon blocks and then send them to a storage system. So I built up the melon farm. It's insanely terrible, but it will work for what I'm using, for what I'm doing. But now I need to experiment with this. So if I, just for testing, say I want to craft some sticks, what should happen is I put these two in here, they fill in the slot, and then if I give this a redstone signal, it will automatically eject the item it crafted. Well then there we go, it ejects it out really far actually. So I have an idea. Every slot you click gives it a signal strength of 1. So if I am going to be crafting sticks, that should have a signal strength of 7, and then when the planks get filled in, that will be a signal strength of 9. Yeah. So if I want these to eject, I need to have a system that only activates this when it has a signal strength of 9. So I think the idea would work, so I moved on from sticks to melons, because that's what this is made for. So this system right here, well, this has a signal strength, only a signal strength of 9 can reach here. So once it reaches that, it will come and activate the crafter, which will shoot out a melon block once it's filled with 9 melon slices. And you can just ignore my redstone. I'm not good at redstone, so it looks pretty terrible right now. So I'm gonna set the tick speed to 1,000 and see how the farm works. Okay, there we go. This is gonna start filling the crafter, and when it reaches 9, it will shoot out a melon block. The crafter is gonna be really helpful for melon and pumpkin farms, because it was annoying how you'd have to manually craft the melon slices to melons, but now it can be done automatically. So now here is the system hooked up to a water stream, which takes the melons to a storage system. This is very helpful. I'm definitely going to be using this in my personal survival world. This is just going to be cool for farming and anything. Like if you're farming bamboo, you can have an auto crafter hooked up to it that turns the bamboo into wood and then crafts it into chests and takes it to your storage system, where you can just do so much with this thing. Okay, let's move on to something else now using the auto crafter. So now this is where it starts getting complicated. Crafting items that have more than one type of item in the recipe. Like as an example, cake. If you would want to autocraft cake, you would need to have hoppers lock and unlock at the perfect timing to fill all the items in the right slots. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Hopefully my brain can handle this. Forgot which button dropped items at first. That's not a great start. This is the front of the crafter, so I'm going to avoid having hoppers on the front so the item can be ejected out of it. I think I remember the crafting recipe to cake. I just need to remind myself. So there are 4 different types of items in a cake's recipe. So I'm going to have make a system so it only allows the milk buckets to come in, then sugar, then it locks the hopper that made the sugar come in, lets an egg come in, unlocks the hopper that made the sugar come in, to let another sugar come in, and then have wheat come in. This is going to be complicated. So I'm going to first get hoppers hooked up to here with chests, and now those chests are filled, well, not really filled, but have the items in them that are required to make a cake, and all the hoppers beneath the chest are locked temporarily so the items aren't going into the crafter. But now I need to build the redstone wiring that unlocks the hoppers in the right order. The first part of a cake is 3 milk buckets on the top. So I need to build a system that unlocks this hopper long enough to let 3 milk buckets go through and then locks it again. Okay, now let's see if a button with a 4-tick delay is enough to let 3 items through. Okay, that works. So that is just enough delay to let 3 items through, so now the milk buckets are in place. So then up next in the crafting recipe is 1 sugar, and it goes right here, and then an egg, and then another sugar. So this redstone is insanely messy, but what it does is it lets this hopper unlock first, because that is the sugar. Then this has a few tick longer delay than the sugar, so it should let an egg come in next, and this is an extra delay, so this will get activated a second time after this one is gone. That sounds very confusing, so I'm just going to show you it. So I did take out the milk buckets, so this is a test of the whole entire system that I've built so far. So I press this button, we'll see what happens. A lot of breaking happened. So I think this has too short of a delay, and I mean this has too short also. Okay, I made the redstone look even worse, but I did change the tick delay, so we'll see what happens now. Just clear this out so it won't break. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay. Okay, this is a little better, but still wrong. It didn't seem possible, but I made the mess even worse. But the good part is, it's working. I press this button right here, and now all the items get put in the right order. Just very slowly. I don't care about speed, I just care it's working. So now I need the 3 wheat to be put in the bottom, and this system works. Well, it was harder than I expected to make the wheat work, but it's working now. So I press this button right here, and then the redstone does the cake making all by itself. It's a little slow at parts, but it works. So now I just need to have 1 more redstone signal to go into this to make it shoot out the cake, and it is done. I feel like this is a little too much work for just crafting some cake. Okay then, the system is fully finished now. So when I press this button, within a few seconds, I will have cake that was automatically made for me. There we go. The automatic cake making machine is finished, and it even returns the buckets to you, so you could hook this up to farms like an egg farm, sugarcane farm, wheat farm, so you can just have an infinite cake making machine. But yeah, all that to get 1 piece of cake. I'd say it was completely worth it though. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.